It was the first day of practice for the 2020 Turkish Grand Prix, and it was more like ice skating, but then a Formula One track going out there. It was slippy. And let's get into it right after we have a look at the Drivers' and the Constructors' Championship. The Istanbul City Circuit, located in Turkey, hosts the 14th round of the Formula One season for 2020. Just 4 races remain in the Formula One campaign of this rescheduled year. For the first time since 2011, it's the Turkish Grand Prix, and it provides Lewis Hamilton with his first opportunity to win a 7th world title. In 2 weeks' time, we are off to Bahrain for the Bahrain Grand Prix. A week later, it's the Shakir Grand Prix on the Outer Loop circuit, followed by the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix on the 13th of December. Lewis Hamilton stands his first chance of winning the 2020 season. He sits on 282 points. Bottas is 197. If Hamilton scores more than 7 more points than Valtteri, he's a 7-time champion. Max Verstappen, well, he's in a battle of his own, really. So it's now looking between Daniel Ricciardo, Charles Leclerc, Sergio Perez, Lando Norris, Carlos Sainz, Alexander Albon, Pierre Gasly, all in the top 10, fighting for 4th in the championship. On the second page, well, it's then we see Lance Stroll still in the fight with Gasly, just a little bit further behind. Ocon really in 12th place, languishing in his own, and then Danny Kvyat is 13th, and in his worst season in Formula One, Sebastian Vettel is down in 14th place with just 18 points. Nico Hülkenberg, though, still 15th on 10. 4 points apiece for the Alfa Romeo boys. Raikkonen ahead of Giovinazzi, 2 for Grosjean, 1 for Magnussen, and sadly no points on the board for Williams of Latifi or Russell. In the Constructors' Championship, Mercedes have done it. They were crowned as 7 times champion last time out at Imola, and now Red Bull, well, they've secured in 2nd place, but it's the battle for 3rd. Renault, McLaren, Racing Point, all within a point of each other. The race there is hotting up. Renault 135, McLaren, Racing Point 134. Ferrari is 6th. Yes, 6th on 103. AlphaTauri 89, 8 points for Alfa Romeo, 3 points for Haas, and no points on the board for Williams. It's the 2020 Turkish Grand Prix at the Intercity Istanbul Park, and this is your Friday practice review. It was slippy as hell out there, but it wasn't like that originally. They've changed the circuit of the tarmac, and the oil is seeping through as well. So it's very dramatic here for first 2 practice sessions. But let's go back in time to 2011, the last time we raced here on the F1 2011 game, and take a look at lap attack. Let's take a look around the 5.338 kilometre circuit of Istanbul Park. 58 laps ahead of us, a lap record of a 120.770 set by Juan Pablo Montoya in 2005. Start the lap. Head downhill, open up the DRS zone into the downhill braking zone for turn 1. Be careful not to let the car go too deep, but you can pick up a very late apex as you hurtle uphill through 2 into the uphill heavier braking zone into turn 3. Banked part of the circuit, you immediately drop down the hill to turn 4. A sharp 90-degree right-hander into the 90-degree left at turn 5 and 6. Open up the kinetic energy system on the car as you launch uphill towards turn 7 before the fearless triple apex of turn 8. The drivers say this one is really going to be felt on the necks. 3 times left, left and left again, all by trying to keep at full throttle at over nearly 200 miles an hour in a 2020 car. Drop down the hill, another 90 left, into the braking zone at turn 9 and turn 10, back up towards the second DRS detection point on the track at turn number 11. Now run all the way uphill with the DRS open into the braking zone of turn 12. Scene, of course, of Red Bull making their famous 1-2 crash in 2010. Hard on the brakes, and overtaking opportunity here before the quick kink into turn 13. And the last corner, turn 14, hug the inside curb, open up the DRS once again, and fire it to a line. That is a lap of the Istanbul Park circuit here for the Turkish Grand Prix. So let's get into the free practice 1 report for the Turkish Grand Prix. Max Verstappen the quickest, but every single driver struggling with the low grip conditions. As Formula 1 returns to the Turkish Grand Prix and Istanbul for the first time since 2011, the track has been newly resurfaced as well. But it did start a problem. 9 cars spinning in first practice, loads others, all 20 suffering in free practice 2 with errors all around the circuit. But it gets worse because just 4 minutes into the session, the red flag was brought out. Charles Leclerc, slipping out of turn 14, heads towards the pit lane where there's an orange cone bollard bolted down, rips off the bollard and reveals the bolts quite high up that would damage the car beyond repair. So they had to red flag the session, unscrew the bolts and make sure it's all fine. That took around about 10 minutes. When the session restarted, everybody was going for spinning. Max Verstappen said it's like driving on ice, a statement echoed by rivals all the way up and down the pit lane as well. It has been resurfaced as well going forward. Not anticipating how slippery the 5.338 kilometre circuit actually would be with the new surfacing job as well. It was only laid a few weeks ago as well, and Pirelli have brought their hardest tyres compounds here for the race. The C1 is the hard, the C2 is the medium, the C3 is the soft. So the hardest compounds at a track where ideally we needed the slowest. They're just not biting into the new rubber, but the track temperature's a little bit different. Further on, Valtteri Bottas was early on the better pace, but 20 seconds slower than what we were thinking would be the times going forward. But the tricky conditions as well, spinning round left, right and centre. Verstappen moved to the top ahead of Bottas. Leclerc eventually finishing third, from Gasly fourth and Vettel fifth. I know, no Red Bull, Ferrari and AlphaTauri in the top 3 teams, but Mercedes, the 4th fastest team in first practice, they really struggled to get the grips together early on as well. Carlos Sainz forced back into the pits, a small electrical issue as well, but stopped in the final 15 minutes as well. He stopped down at the exit of turn 7, causing a virtual safety car to be called. Several drivers had a spin, Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas as well. A brief moment of joy, Alexander Albon went quickest for the Red Bull teams. Then the Ferraris went quickest when they were thinking something's wrong. And then, of course, we saw Verstappen come back through to go fastest as well. Bottas leading the Mercedes. Hamilton down in 15th place. Gasly looking good early on as well. But the first practice saw hardly any running due to the track conditions. That would all change, though, in free practice 2. But before we move over, let's take a look at the times from free practice 1. Max Verstappen tops the opening practice session for the Turkish Grand Prix, a 1:35.077. Alexander Albon is second on a 1:35.318, and then Charles Leclerc goes into third place at 1:35.507. Pierre Gasly's fourth at 1:35.543. Sebastian Vettel is fifth on a 1:35.620. Danny Kvyat, he goes into sixth place at 1:36.738. Lando Norris is 7th at 1:37.216. Antonio Giovinazzi is 8th at 1:37.503. Valtteri Bottas 9th at 1:37.629. And Esteban Ocon rounds up the top 10 at 1:38.428. Nicholas Latifi is 11th at 1:38.508. Sergio Perez 12th at 1:38.612. Lance Stroll is 13th at 1:39.484. Romain Grosjean 14th at 1:40.025. Lewis Hamilton is 15th at 1:40.225. Kimi Raikkonen 16th at 1:41.035. Kevin Magnussen is 17th at 1:41.854. Danny Ricciardo 18th at 1:45.156. Carlos Sainz is 19th at 1:46.462. And George Russell is 20th at 1:49.256. So on to the free practice 2 report then, and for Max Verstappen, he does the double. Fastest in free practice 1, fastest of all in free practice 2. And Charles Leclerc going second fastest. Ferrari proving that in this unreliable slippiness of the track, temperature and the asphalt changing, they've suddenly got a good car around here. Fantastic pace and fantastic speed. Bottas third, Hamilton fourth, Albon in fifth place as well. But the track was busy all throughout free practice 2. The reason for that is because they all realised, well, this is the best the track's got to go. We've got to rubber up. We've got to do all of the race runs ready so we know what qualifying's going to be. So they all headed out there and were all like, oh, well, this is a bit slippy, isn't it? But a 1:28.330 is all Verstappen managed to do. 7 seconds faster than he managed in the morning session of FP1, but still 4 seconds slower than one Pablo Montoya's lap record set here in 2005. And these are the fastest Formula 1 cars we've ever had. So this is really, really bizarre. P3 this morning, Leclerc confirmed Ferrari's extraordinary and quite suspicious, really, pace by going into second place as well. Having failed to set a represented time in the morning, Bottas ended up P9, Hamilton was P15, but when they moved around, it was third for Bottas and fourth for Hamilton. Albon led much of the early pace of the session, going faster than the medium tyres, but was over a second back on Verstappen when they put on the full slick, super soft tyres, the Red Mark Softs going out there. Vettel initially lapped closest to his teammate of Leclerc, only P8 in the session, though Verstappen was quite back as well in the early stages of the second half of FP2. Ocon was best placed, Renault in 12th place as well. Lance Stroll and Renault battling it out. Lance Stroll was in 9th. Vettel ahead of Lando Norris, who celebrates his 21st birthday, so happy birthday to Lando Norris. McLaren also backing off as well. Completing the top 20, Williams, George Russell 17th, Haas of Grosjean and Magnussen 18th, 19th, and Latifi back in 20th place as well. So a lot of spins in this session as well. A day to get used to a new track surface. Rain, only a very light shower is predicted for tomorrow, so we're really in for a treat for when Formula 1 goes for FP3 in qualifying here at the Turkish Grand Prix. Let's take a look at the times from FP2. Max Verstappen tops the second practice session for the Turkish Grand Prix, a 1:28.330. Charles Leclerc second, a 1:28.731. Valtteri Bottas is third, a 1:28.905. Then Lewis Hamilton fourth, a 1:29.180. Alexander Albon fifth, a 1:29.363. Danny Kvyat sixth, a 1:29.689. Pierre Gasly seventh, a 1:29.944. Sebastian Vettel is eighth, a 1:30.022. Lance Stroll ninth, a 1:32.97. And Lando Norris rounds out the top 10, a 1:30.735. Sergio Perez is in 11th place, a 1:31.104. Esteban Ocon is 12th, a 1:31.380. Antonio Giovinazzi 13th, a 1:31.493. Carlos Sainz is 14th, a 1:31.498. Daniel Ricciardo 15th, a 1:31.660. Kimi Raikkonen 16th, a 1:31.932. George Russell is 17th, a 1:32.302. Romain Grosjean 18th on a 1:32.570, Kevin Magnussen 19th, a 1:32.807, and Nicholas Latifi is 20th, a 1:33.488. So we're back tomorrow with full coverage of the third practice session. Our transmission starts at 8:50 UK time. Qualifying is at 11:45 a.m. for the Turkish Grand Prix, and race day Sunday 9:30 on air, lights out at 10:10 UK time in the morning. I must stress to you. So Verstappen fastest for Red Bull, the first time he's topped the day here so far in 2020. This is looking excruciatingly exciting. The track is slippy, everyone's going to be fighting for grip. This is going to be a great race. Join us tomorrow for free practice 3 in qualifying. Good night, everybody.